My brother got my fiance pregnant. My family blamed me, so I cut them all off. Growing up, everyone in our family knew who the favorite was. It wasn't openly discussed, but it was obvious in every aspect of our lives, and the favorite wasn't me. I'm 32 now, and my younger brother, Mike, is 29, but the dynamic in our family has never changed from the earliest days. I could see how differently we were treated. If Mike broke something, like the time he shattered Mom's favorite vase, it somehow became my fault. "You're the older brother," they'd say. "You should have stopped him." I didn't break the vase. I wasn't even in the room when it happened, but that didn't matter. Mike was too young to understand the consequences of his actions, so the responsibility fell on me. If we both achieved something, his accomplishments always seemed bigger. I remember in 5th grade, I won a math competition. My mom briefly said, "Good job," and went back to making dinner. But when Mike got a participation award for a soccer tournament, they threw a celebratory dinner and invited all their friends. "You're not upset, are you?" Mom asked. "Mike worked so hard for this. He's younger and needs the encouragement." That was their standard excuse. Mike was younger, Mike was more sensitive, Mike had it harder, and me, I was the older brother. I was supposed to understand this. This didn't stop when we got older. When I got into a prestigious university on a scholarship, my parents barely reacted. They didn't visit to see my dorm or help with the move. I remember packing up on my own, getting on the bus, and feeling that bitter realization. It was like my achievements didn't matter to them. But when Mike got into a local community college, it was a different story. They threw a party, invited friends, and even bought him a car. "He worked so hard for this," Dad said. "They didn't buy me a car. I rode my bike 5 miles to work and saved every penny to pay for textbooks." Mike dropped out of college after the first semester, and they weren't even disappointed. "Don't worry, sweetheart," Mom said. "You just need time to find your path." After that, they started funding all his business ventures. He opened an online store that went bankrupt in 3 months, then tried creating an app but never finished the development. Eventually, he got into selling sports gear, which also failed. I watched as my parents poured thousands of dollars into his failures. Once, I asked why they kept supporting him, and Mom just waved her hand dismissively. "Mike hasn't found himself yet. He's so talented. We need to help him figure it out." But I never got that kind of support. I paid for my education, worked after classes, and when I asked for a little help, I got the same response: "You're independent. This is good for you. It'll make you stronger." I'd like to say it didn't bother me, but it did. No matter how hard I tried, it always felt like I was never enough, like I'd never be good enough, not for them, and maybe not for anyone else. That difference in treatment left a mark. It made me doubt my worth and question if I could ever truly measure up. And then Sarah came into my life. We met at a party hosted by one of Mike's friends. I almost didn't go because I was exhausted from work, but Mike insisted. "Come on, relax a little. There will be cool people there." Sarah immediately caught my attention. She had this natural charisma that lit up the entire room. She was laughing at some silly story, and her laugh was so contagious that I couldn't help but smile, even though I didn't know what she was laughing about. We struck up a conversation by the drink table. She asked if I was one of Mike's friends. I told her I was his older brother. "Oh, interesting,"